Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motion, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge, ProChargeEV.com. Hope your day is off to a magnificent start. Hope you had a great weekend. Big recruiting weekend for LSU football. Tigers land a commitment from Ori Williams out of Texas. Big kid, 6'7", 300 pounds. God bless his mom, trying to feed him. So he's the 21st commit for the class of 2024. And from Texas, was at LSU this weekend for a visit and pulled the trigger for LSU. You know, we talk a lot about, actually I'm looking at his updated thing on 247. They've got him at 6'6", 320. So either way, he's a huge kid. 3-star, had offers from Florida, Oklahoma State, Texas A&M, Arizona. So some big schools. From what I understand, kind of the book on him a little bit is that athletic guy, somewhat of a project, right? They like the frame and the athleticism. So he's tackle, 6'6", 6'7", 320. You know, the thing we talk about with offensive linemen all the time with Brian Kelly is two positions, right? The two positions that he has pumped players into the NFL more than any other have been on the offensive line and at tight end. So if this staff sees this player and says, yep, we like him, I'm like, okay, you deserve the benefit of the doubt. So, so he becomes commit number 21 for LSU in this class. See, that's so weird. 24/7 has See, 24/7 has that as commit number 20. On3 has it as commit number 21. So I don't know where the confusion is here with that, but that's 21. Yeah, okay, so he's commit number 21. So okay. So nationally, you know, ranked in the 500s, at his position ranked 31st, number 93 in the state of Texas. But when you start to look at LSU's offensive line and how they're building it up, we've talked so much about the depth you have this year, and then just when you look ahead to next year, I mean, you have Campbell and Jones back next year. You're likely going to lose Dellinger, Frazier, Turner, so your interior three, but you got Lance Hurd, and then a whole recruiting class from a year ago getting a year older, and you could always go hit the portal as well. So they're doing well there on the offensive line. All right, let's say some good mornings. See what else y'all got. As always, fire away, questions, comments. Smash that like button if you're there on YouTube, and subscribe up to the Matt Moscona channel. Trivia Carter, good morning. I will let Erica know you said belated happy birthday. Tim Gotro, Wendell Norman, Brian Penton, good morning. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Supposed to be in for 8 a.m. Told me come in for 9:30 and then I may be off. Well, enjoy another day off, man. Joey Metke, good morning. Brett DeGrow, what's going on? Hope Ebrock had a great birthday. She did. We had a great weekend, man. Went down to NOLA and had a great night Saturday with friends and went out to dinner and we did the Pado's Piano Bar. And I woke up, had breakfast yesterday, drove back, and just had a really low key day. So we put Drew in the pool and swam a little bit. Just a real relaxing day. Think she took a nap. So a good relaxing day. Brad David, good morning. Reed Rule, good morning. What's the deadline for Braden Montgomery to decide his destination? Yeah, start classes. Remember, the transfer portal window is the window for players to enter their name into the portal. You could pick whenever you want. So, or just as long as you're there for the start of classes. Because remember, you can only sign one letter of intent in your career. So, when you sign a letter of intent coming out of high school, that's it. You never sign another letter of intent. So whenever you guys transfer, or ladies, whatever sport, when they transfer and make a commitment, you don't sign a letter of intent again. You just enroll in school. You have what's called grant and aid paperwork, which is just your scholarship. But you never sign another letter. You only sign a letter of intent once, ever. So it's really just enrolling in school for transfers. Joey Vincent, good morning. Gulf South, good morning. I was recently gifted a bottle of Sagamore Spirit Sherry Finish Rye. Know anything about this? Can't say that I do, man. Sorry. God, there's just, there's so many. There's so many whiskeys. So, and I mean, the categories exploded in the last 5 years. So, no, someone here may. So if someone does, let them know. Antron Hemingway, good morning. Eric Wilderrider, which do you think is more likely? Michael Thomas plays in 6 games or Jimmy Graham plays in 1? I'm going to go Thomas. I know that's weird because he's been injured for 3 years. I don't know that Jimmy Graham makes this team. Like, how do you keep 4 tight ends? I mean, I totally understand the perspective of, well, why do you sign him then? I totally get that perspective. But I also look and I go, are you going to keep Morrow, Johnson, Taysom, and Graham? I don't know, man. Maybe he does awesome in the preseason and throughout camp and earns a roster spot and earns a role on this team. We'll see. But, boy, it's hard for me to get there right now with the numbers to keep a 4th tight end. Ransom Antoine, good morning. Brian Pentwood, G to Commanders. Had the pork chop. It was phenomenal. Ray Langlois, good morning. Weston Weaver, Jimmy Paulino, good morning. Do you think we lose Wardell Mack to Florida? I live in Florida, and I think they will get him. Jimmy, I don't know, man. So what I'll tell you is every fan base always thinks they're getting every player ever. And every player they get is going to be an All-American, and the player that you don't get is going to be a bust, right? So, like, if Wardell Mack picks Florida, LSU fans are going to say, yeah, well, he was overrated anyway. And the 3-star, meanwhile, that LSU got yesterday, Ori Williams, yep, diamond in the rough, going to be an All-American. It's just the way recruiting works, man. I get it. You want to get the best players in the state. You want to keep the best players in the state. As far as Wardell Mack, so for those who don't know, Wardell Mack's kid out of New Orleans, the cornerback from John Ehret. I thought Texas was kind of the team to beat there, but I'm looking at his On3 profile right now, and the recruiting prediction machine, 62% have him to LSU, 35% have him to Texas, just 1% to Florida. So that looks like an LSU-Texas battle right now, for what it's worth. but I can't give you any insight, man. I've never spoken to Wardell Mack. I don't know his family. I don't know him or any of his coaches or any of that stuff. So people ask me recruiting questions. I'm just honest with you, man. I don't follow it. It's not like I'm not in the weeds every day calling recruits and trying to figure out what they're thinking, where they're going to visit. That is, 17 and 18-year-olds change their mind a lot. Bart St. Germain, Dale Broussard, Bob Poole, good morning. Brant Roban, good morning. Let's see, how long till we find out if we land guys that were at the Bayou Splash or Brian Kelly? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, sorry. I wish I could give you recruiting answers. I'm not your recruiting guy. I never have been, so I don't know when guys want to commit. Sorry. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Chad Cornett. Bob Poole, 34 days, 10 hours, 40 minutes. Let's go. Nice. Is that okay for kickoff? Bubba Smith, hey, Dad. Good morning. Kelly Groves, Devin Johnson. Morning, Matt. Love this freaking show. Thank you, Devin. I have a question. Which stadium is louder and more hostile? Penn State whiteout, LSU Bama night game in Tiger Stadium. I guess I'll need to make a visit to State College to find out. Yeah, man, it's impossible to say definitively without having been to a whiteout. I would like to do that. I'd like to go to a night game, a whiteout in Happy Valley. Yeah, I think, look, Tiger Stadium has gone the way that so many stadiums have, where there was this race for expansion of stadiums in the 90s and 2000s, where Tennessee and Michigan every year were expanding for the right to have the biggest stadium, and then a lot of other schools tried to expand with them. And LSU got to 100, and Penn State got to 100, and I think Bama's at 100 now, or just short of it. A&M. I mean, just look around. So you have all these 100,000 seat stadiums, and nobody can fill them. Because, for all the reasons we know, right? Like the traffic, and you pay to park, and your seats are bad, and you're on a little piece of metal, and concessions are overpriced, and waiting in line for the bathroom. All the things, right? All the things we talk about. And the home viewing experience is so good, and every game's on TV. That's not new. But what I will say to that question is, and Tiger Stadium's no different. You go to Tiger Stadium when LSU plays, when LSU plays, got a good home schedule this year. But, I mean, just throw out when they play Grambling. Grambling will bring some fans, but the game's not going to be competitive, and a lot of people aren't going to go. It's what it is. By the third quarter, it'll be about 30,000 people left in the stadium, because that's just what it is now. People leave to beat traffic and whatever. But when it is with the way that I've kind of gotten in the habit of phrasing it is, Tiger Stadium is still as good a big game venue in any sport in the world. When you look at when LSU is good and has a good opponent coming in, and they're playing in a meaningful game like they did last year with Bama, it is as good a big game venue as any in the world. So those opportunities kind of get more scarce, right? But when you get them, they're pretty awesome. Jamie Leday, Quentin Brakebill, good morning. Rick Manuel, good morning. Another huge recruiting weekend. Recruits had great things to say about the Tigers. Brian Kelly, big get with another fast rising OL. Rick, I joke about this sometimes. Like, I would love for you to find me a recruit who went to a recruiting visit and didn't have great things to say. That's the challenge. I mean, you got to keep in mind, like, these are high school kids. I mean, picture whatever your high school field, weight room, campus was, all right? And then you leave, you're 17, 18 years old, and you go to LSU. And you walk in, and they're greeting you, and you got a name badge and a packet already for you, probably some swag if that's allowed. You get to walk through the trophy room. They let you try on the uniform. You get to hold the national championship trophy, Joe Burrow's Heisman. You get to go into the indoor practice facility. You get to see the locker room with all that first-class airplane pods. I mean, what 18-year-old is going to go, man, that sucked? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's why I never get upset when you don't get a commitment. Because, like, sometimes the way people phrase it, I don't think this is intentional, but like you say, well, you lost a commitment. No, you can't lose something you never had. So, like, if a kid just picks someone else, that's his prerogative. Like, all you can do in recruiting is just put forth your best foot. You can call them when you can call them, text them when you can text them, get them on campus when you can, do cut-ups of film, have a host with them, treat them like gold, tell them how they fit in. Like, all you can do is just put your best foot forward. And you're going to sign 25 or now, I guess, more really good players. And not everyone is going to pick you. And that's okay. That's just the way it goes. Just make sure you get a recruiting class full of good players that fill your needs. So I have no doubt they'll do that. David Tolson bummed that Dustin lost the opportunity for the BMF belt. Yeah. So about Dustin Poirier lost to Justin Gaethje on Saturday. Head kick. It was brutal too. I was bummed, man. I liked Poirier in that fight, but that is the challenge of MMA, man. It can end quickly. All right. Barry Jocelyn, good morning. Gulf South, the fact that you had to think as hard about the Thomas Graham question as hard as you did for as long as you did speaks volumes about Thomas. If Graham gets cut, he'll go sail the globe. No, but you're right. Like, it is true, but think of it like, is there a situation where Jimmy Graham could play a game? Someone gets injured, they call him up. Sure. But, I mean, Michael Thomas has played in 10 games in the last 3 years. So you're asking him if he's going to play 6 this year? I mean, I hope so. Would love it if he did. But, I mean, I've got a 3-year sample that says he ain't going to stay healthy. Pat Houston, good morning. Ransom Antoine, good morning. Taysom's going to have to take one of the DB's roster spots because Jake Hayner will get signed off the practice squad. Jimmy will make the roster. Yeah, so I get why they want to protect Jake Hayner. I don't know that there's a team that would sign Jake Hayner off the practice squad. I mean, you still have to talk about, like, that would still be a team that would have to carry a third quarterback, which nobody does. Now, no, isn't there the new rule, though, where you can carry an emergency quarterback? So maybe that's part of how that's going to go. But it's going to be interesting to see how they make the numbers work. Because if you want to keep Taysom Hill, if you want to keep Jimmy Graham and Jake Hayner, that's a 4th tight end and a 3rd quarterback. Where are you going to be thin? Unless if you just consider Jimmy Graham one of the wide receivers. Like, you keep him as a pass catcher instead of a 6th receiver. But typically a 6th receiver, someone's going to help you on special teams. Matt Plavidal, baseball question. Of the injured pitchers from the past year that are coming back, who do you think makes an impact? Jaden Newt is the one that I think they like them, that they really like a lot. So I'm not going to say that they like the most because I really can't tell you that. But Jaden Newt is probably the one I would tell you. Mike the Tiger, 2023 national champs, LSU Penn State, home and home one day, hopefully. Maybe, but remember, LSU's got their non-conference schedules through like 2036 or something like that. So 2036 or 2031. LSU has, 2032, sorry. So they play Utah home and home in 2031 and 2032. So, I mean, technically they wouldn't schedule a non-conference Power 5 series till 2033. So, you're talking 10 years. If you schedule it now, you wouldn't have it for 10 years. Your better bet is to get a home playoff game against Penn State. Peter Fenner, good morning. Y'all smash that like button if you would. Appreciate y'all for watching. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Let's see. Eric Wilderwater, last year you said FSU playing week 0 had both advantages and disadvantages for LSU. Curious for your opinion of that has shifted about last year. So I don't know what. So, okay. Eric, I don't recall saying there were advantages and disadvantages. Here's what I would say. The advantage, of course, is getting to play a game, work out the kinks, whatever. I remember having that conversation with a lot of people on air and asking them their opinion of that. And I think we asked Brian Kelly that. And so it wasn't me saying this was my opinion. Because I think we even asked Brian Kelly. And maybe even Norvell got asked that as well. But I think the answer was the advantage of playing is you get to work out the kinks, obviously. The disadvantage is you're putting things on film. Whereas, LSU playing the first game of the season, right? There might be an element of surprise there. And I remember asking a lot of, it felt like every guest we had leading up to that game was like, well, who's the advantage? I'd rather have the week 0 game against Duquesne. Well, let me rephrase that. No, because in the other way we said it too was, look, there was a lot of years where, see, now you're trying to jog a year-old conversation in my brain. So now things are starting to fire. I remember we ran through the list of all the years that LSU played these season opening games and won them. In 2005, you beat Arizona State. That was the Katrina game. 2007, you opened up at Mississippi State and won it on a Thursday. 2008, you opened with App State. 2009, you opened with Washington in Seattle and you won it. 2010, you opened up with North Carolina and Atlanta. That was the weird. Wasn't that 10? That was 10. Yeah. That was the weird thing where Carolina had all the players suspended right before the game. 11, you opened up with Oregon, won it. Did you open up with a big game in 12? 13 was TCU. Yeah, 12, they opened up with North Texas, then played Washington at home. They played Syracuse that year as well. I can't remember. Or maybe it was 13. So anyway, you get my point. They beat Wisconsin and Houston to open 2014. I guess my point is, it was never a problem opening up with a Power 5 team until it was, right? You lost to Wisconsin and Lambeau in 2016. And, when you start losing those games, then it becomes, a problem. But I don't know. I think I guess my answer, long way of saying this now, is I've kind of just verbally and externally processed this. I think it kind of depends on the team. If you're a talented veteran team with a lot of returning production, probably don't need a week 0 game. If you're a team like LSU was last year, made up of 40 transfers and a lot of young players and a true freshman starting left tackle, and new quarterback, I'd probably like a tune-up game. Penn State playoff, yep. Perkins for Heisman. Matt, how about this 2024 class, how they're pushing LSU to these other recruits? I think Hurley is leading the charge. I really like these kids are recruiting other players too. Yeah, I agree with that. I think you need some peer pressure. It's a good thing. It's have the guys that are already committed kind of leading the charge. But I think that happens in every class. You just have a really vocal quarterback commit this year with Hurley, which is great. Larry Garner, Brett DeGrow, has LSU picked up non-conference replacements for the OU series? LSU's future non-conference opponents. '25 and '26 they play Clemson. 27 they play Houston. They play the game at NRG, and Houston will be in the Big 12 at that point, so it'll be a Power 5. No 2028 game as of now. 29 and 30 are Arizona State, and 31-32 are Utah. So the only one they're trying to get a non-conference Power 5 right now is 28. Eric Wilder, my fault. Oh, it's all good, man. All good. All right, any more? Let's see. Jared DeLucky, good morning. David Tolson. Derek Lewis put on a show after the knockout. Michael Cook, good morning. All right, y'all think we're done. Okay, as always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Hey, babe. Oh, super cute. I love them on clouds. Super cute. My Air Force Ones are better. All right. Let's wrap this thing up, y'all. Have a great day. So shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing. Need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. They're the best. Need a roof, you call Hudco. Hudco is pinned in the chat. Would love it right now if someone watching right now would take a quick second, click that link, fill out the form on the homepage, let us come do a free, no obligation roofing inspection. Would love the opportunity. So, okay, y'all. We'll get you an LSU Daily a bit later, and AFR 3. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks for being here. Have a great week. Make it a good one. Peace. I'm out of here.